Plays with such a motor. This is a great fit. And it's not about what you said earlier. It's not about when you get picked. It's about where you get picked and how you fit with that team.
They also selected Bree Hall from South Carolina with their 20th pick in the 2025 WNBA Draft.
The Indiana Fever just passed on Lucy Olson in the WNBA Draft, and nobody saw it coming. Everyone thought Olson was a lock for their pick, but instead they grabbed Makayla Timpson from Florida State, the only D1 player averaging 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks last season. With a 6'10 wingspan and elite rim protection, Timson might be the perfect complement to Caitlin Clark's game. Is this the missing piece that transforms the Fever into title contenders?
The Fever, they were talking about how she plays exactly the way they want to play. She is 6'2 with a 6'10 wingspan.
Let's break down why this surprising draft might be the smartest move nobody expected. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Did the Fever just pull off the biggest draft surprise of 2025? Everyone thought Lucy Olson was heading to Indiana. The mock drafts had it locked in. The analysts were convinced. But the Fever? They had other plans. When Indiana's pick came up, jaws hit the floor across the basketball world.
Since been, man, many people had thought that Lucy Olson was going to end up in the Indiana Fever jersey, and I'm here to tell you that is not the case.
Amber Cox and Lynn Dunn were practically jumping out of their seats when they realized Makayla Timpson from Florida State was still on the board. You could almost see the excitement in their eyes. They knew something the rest of us didn't. Talk about stats that jump off the page.
For the Indiana Fever is Makayla Timpson from Florida State.
I know Amber Cox and Lynn Dunn are thrilled that this young woman was still available.
Timpson wasn't just good last season. She was in a league of her own. The only player in all of Division I to average 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game. That's not just impressive, that's dominant. When you're the only one out of hundreds of D1 players putting up those numbers, scouts take notice.
The only player in D1 this past season to average 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks. So you talk about a player that has a motor.
What makes this pick absolutely brilliant is how perfectly Timson fits alongside Caitlin Clark. Imagine Clark threading those pinpoint passes to Timson as she rolls to the rim. Picture Timson snagging offensive rebounds when Clark's deep threes don't fall.
The 2025 WNBA Draft is in the Indiana Fever, selecting Makayla Timpson from Florida State University.
The chemistry potential here is off the charts. The defensive impact might be even bigger. Timpson's wingspan stretches an incredible 6 feet 10 inches. That's a game changer for a Fever team that struggled to protect the paint last season. Every opponent driving to the basket now has to think twice with Timpson patrolling the lane. Those blocks aren't just highlight plays. They're momentum shifters that can energize the entire team. But this wasn't just about picking the player with the best stats. The Fever's front office clearly had a specific vision for building around their star.
Plays with such a motor. This is a great fit. And it's not about what you said earlier. It's not about when you get picked. It's about where you get picked and how you fit with that team.
They needed a rim runner who could finish plays and a defensive anchor who could erase mistakes. Timson checks both boxes in bold, permanent marker. You know what's really telling? When teams go against the grain like this, it usually means they've done their homework. While everyone else was focused on filling the backcourt, Indiana identified their biggest weakness, interior presence, and addressed it perfectly with a player whose skill set doesn't overlap with anyone else on the roster. The Indiana Fever's vision wasn't just a one-pick wonder. When the 20th pick rolled around, the Fever shocked everyone again by grabbing Bree Hall from South Carolina instead of Lucy Olson, who was still available. This wasn't just another surprise. It was the second piece of a master plan becoming crystal clear right before our eyes.
That selection, the Fever take Bree Hall from the University of South Carolina.
Think about it. After addressing their interior with Timson, the Fever could have easily grabbed Olson as their backcourt pick. That's what every mock draft expected. But Indiana's front office had something else in mind. They wanted winners who don't need the spotlight to make an impact. What made the Fever so confident in passing on Olson twice? It comes down to Hall's championship DNA. Playing under legendary coach Dawn Staley at South Carolina, Hall learned how to perform when the lights are brightest. That winning mentality is exactly what this young Fever roster needs around their superstar.
And they also selected Bree Hall from South Carolina with their 20th pick in the 2025 WNBA Draft.
Hall brings something special that doesn't always jump off the stat sheet. She's that player who can guard multiple positions, knock down open shots when needed, and, this is key, make an impact without dominating possession. As the video's host noted, it was another great move when it comes to fit. When you're building around a ball-dominant star like Clark, you need players who excel without needing touches. The Fever were so confident in their strategy that they immediately hit social media announcing both picks.
The Fever select Makayla Timpson, Florida State. Makayla Timpson, Florida State. Let's go!
As mentioned in the research, they wasted no time getting to social media, letting the fans know that we have 2 new players on the squad. That immediate announcement speaks volumes about their belief in this vision. What makes Hall truly valuable is all those winning plays that casual fans might miss. Watch her game film, and you'll see perfect timing on cuts, extra passes that create better shots, and defensive positioning that prevents drives before they happen. She's constantly making the right basketball play, not the flashy one. Now imagine this new Fever lineup. Clark creating with her elite vision, Timson protecting the rim and finishing inside, and Hall spacing the floor and locking down defensively. Suddenly, Indiana has dangerous threats at every level of the court.
And she's a rim runner. What is Caitlin Clark like?
Rim runners.
Rim runner. She's going to throw the ball down to you. She's a rim protector.
The genius of Hall's selection is that she's the perfect complementary piece to Clark. She doesn't need the ball to be effective, brings championship experience that's invaluable in pressure situations, and plays elite defense. All qualities that enhance Clark's game without overlapping roles. And just like that, the Indiana Fever have completely rewritten their future. What we just witnessed might go down as one of the smartest draft strategies in recent WNBA history. Instead of going with the popular choice, they focused on what their team actually needed. And that's how championship teams are built. This could be the genius move that transforms the Fever from just another team with a superstar into a legitimate title contender.
In the 2025 WNBA Draft is in the Indiana Fever selecting Makayla Timpson.
Their front office saw a vision nobody else did, assembling pieces that fit perfectly together rather than just collecting talent. The 2025-26 season is about to be absolutely wild. Are we watching the birth of a dynasty